everyone. This is exciting. So I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes for a few people to join. I do apologise, it's live like a beacon on top of my forehead, so I will move away from the camera. So I'm just going to get the list up just so that I know who is joining. And then we can get going. So whilst I'm just waiting for a few people to join, just to give you the heads up, you don't need any equipment whatsoever, so that's all good. If you've got an exercise mat, then perfect. If not, then that's fine, but we will be doing exercises on our back, on our side, so a softer surface would be ideal. And if you've not gathered already, you can see me, but I can't see you. So I am just going to put a bit of faith in you guys that you do stick to the level that you feel comfortable with some of the exercises. If you feel any pain, discomfort or anything, then obviously just rest out, have a bit of a stretch, or just go down to a bit of a lower level. So I think that's everything. So we are going to start off with a little bit of a warm up. We'll do a little bit of a posture set to begin with, and then we can get going to some exercises. So hi everyone, everyone's saying hi. Okay, right, let's get going then. Let me know if you can't hear me at any point. There is a bit of background music as well. So when you're ready, you're going to come into the centre of your mat if you have one. And we're going to start with a bit of a posture set to begin with. So I just want you to place your feet underneath your hips. So hip width apart to begin with. And you're just going to lengthen through your spine to stand nice and tall. So imagine a helium balloon pulling you nice and tall to the ceiling. And I just want you to relax with those shoulders, take them down to your back pockets. And we're just going to take our hands towards our hips. So we're going to work through some pelvic tilts here, which means that we're just going to work through that pelvic area again. Some of those muscles engaged. So we're going to imagine that we've got a bucket of water just sitting at the front of our pelvis here. And we're going to tilt that water out towards the front, down towards our toes. So our bottom should be coming out at the back now. And now I want you to take that bucket and tilt behind you so that water now comes behind. Down towards your heels. And again down towards your toes. Good. So you're just going to continue with a little bit of movement here around that pelvis area. If you do have a bit of stiffness in your lower back, this is quite nice just to loosen up that area. Nice and relaxed in those shoulders. Okay, so when you're ready, just find a nice neutral position with that pelvic area now. So that bucket of water should be nice and level. Try not to spill any of that water now. And you're just going to engage a little bit that core, so just pulling that stomach slightly. And we're just going to do some nice deep breaths. So you're going to take an inhale here, and exhale. And again, a nice deep breath in. And you're going to breathe out, try not to blow through that stomach. And again, last breath in. And out, so nice and controlled around the stomach. And relax your arms down the side of the body. So let's warm up through the neck now. We're going to take the ear down towards the shoulder. Get a nice stretch through the neck. Back into the centre. And over to the opposite side. Good, so let's go over again. Taking that ear to the shoulder. Good. And last one to this side. And back into the middle. So this time we're going to look over the shoulder behind us. So let's get some rotation through that neck, as far around as you can. And let's work through the opposite side. Perfect. So again, come round to the opposite shoulder. Try and get as much movement as you can now. And let's work through that last one. And then back into the middle. Perfect. So we're going to widen our stance now with our feet. So you're going to take your feet nice and wide. And you're going to just bring your feet out at 45 degrees. angle each side. All right, so we're going to pop our hands onto our hips. We're going to work through some squats. We're going to warm up those legs. So we're going to bend in those knees, going down into our squat, and then lift back up and squeeze those glutes. So again, nice and low, lifting and squeezing through those glutes. Good. So let those knees come in line with those toes as you bend down into that squat. If you want to start working harder, let's go a little bit deeper. And squeeze in as we come up. All right, just a couple more here. And just remember that bucket of water. Keep it nice and level around that pelvis area. Just tuck that tailbone in slightly. And we're working for our last two. Our last one now, we're coming down into our squat. We're going to hold it in our squat now. So hold it nice and still. We're going to work through some heel lifts. So we're going to lift both heels away and down and up and down. Keep it going. Try to stay in that squat if you can. Lifting those heels and lowering. The lower you are, the harder it's going to be. Good. Let's work through the last two. Last one. Heels down, lift back up, and back into your singles. So down into your squat. And up. And down. Good. Let's get a little bit deeper. Feel those legs get nice and warm now. Good, keep it going. And last two. Last one. Lift. Good. And just cool up a little bit around those legs. So keeping that stance nice and wide. So what we're going to do now, we're going to lift our arms into our shoulder level and thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to work through some pulses here now. So we're going to pulse, nice small movements, pulsing upwards towards the ceiling. I'm going to warm up around those shoulders. So nice quick pulses. Good. We're going to turn the thumbs down towards the floor and pulse again. Keeping those wrists in line with your shoulders. Try not to let them drop. We're going to take the thumbs back up towards the ceiling and pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Pulse 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palms now facing to the floor. We're going backward circles. Again, try and keep those wrists in line with your shoulders. Start feeling a bit tired now. And forwards. Good, keep going. 3, 2, 1. Relax the arms down into the body. I'm going into some shoulder rolls. So you're going to take a deep breath in, shoulders up, and breathe out. Take those shoulders back and round. So shoulder rolls now, pulling up around the shoulders, and adding that breathe in. And we're going to go inhale up, exhale back and round. Last two. Working into that last one. And relax those shoulders back down. All right, so your legs should still be quite nice and wide. I'm going to work into some lunges now. So you're going to take one foot inward and take the opposite foot out. All right, keeping your hands either side of your body, we're going to work down into a lunge. So we're going to bend in the knees, taking the arms just in front of the shoulders and press back up. Staying on this side. You're coming down, try and touch that back knee into the mat. Again, if you struggle with lunges, just don't go as deep. Just work in that level for you. Bit of balance work as well. Last two. Last one. Good. So let's come back to the front. And we're going to turn to the opposite side. So foot in and foot out. Get a bit of your balance here. And we're going for our second set now. When you're ready, you're going to bend and up. Just control your breathing as you're working through this set. Excellent. All right, let's work through our last two. Last one. Standing back up, facing the front. Walk our legs in now and just pull them off. Hope you're feeling nice and warm. I am. So we're going to come to our edge of our mat now. I'm going to work through some roll downs to begin with. So with our roll downs, we're going to start nice and tall to begin with, and then we're going to start rolling through the spine, reach down towards our toes. So when you're ready, you're going to take your chin down to your chest. You're going to roll your shoulders, curling that spine. You're going to start reaching down towards your toes, but keeping your legs straight. You should feel the stretch come down the back of your legs. Once you've got that stretch, you're going to hold. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, start rolling back up. So joint at a time, lifting slowly back into standing, and resetting those shoulders. So let's go again. Chin tuck into your chest, shoulders round, reaching nice and slowly. Joint at a time, curling through the spine. Let's reach a little bit deeper into that stretch. Nice deep breath in, breathe out, pull through that stomach, shoulder blades to the ceiling. Nice control, back into standing, and reset. So we've got our last one now. So should feel a little bit easier come through that spine. And again, let's try and go even further now on that last one. So push through that stretch. Try and reach your lift through to the floor, to the mat. Deep breath in, breathe out, and rolling back up. Resetting the shoulders. Perfect. So this time we're going to incorporate our rolls down into some planks. So this time on our roll down, we're going to come into the mat. So chin down to your chest. Rolling, reaching down to your toes. You're going to bend your knees now. Come all the way down into the mat and walk your hands into a full plank. Sit your hands into your shoulders, holding that plank nice and steady, and start walking back into your feet. All the way to the feet and rolling up. Again, nice and slowly, back into standing. And reset. Let's go again. Chin down and rolling through into the mat. Let's walk it out into your plank. If that's too much, you can come onto your knees. Just hold and back. Walking through and into your standing position. Okay, so we've got a couple more to do. Again, into your roll down. If you want to make it harder now for your last few, you're going to come into your plank. Holding your plank nice and steady, you're going to add a leg lift on each side. Leg lift up, and then walk those hands back in. So just choose that level for you now, as we do our last few. So last two to go. Again, if you're struggling with those planks, just come onto your knees. If you're working hard there, let's add those leg lifts. Holding that plank nice and steady. Really good. So now, coming into our last one. Rolling down nice and slowly. Coming into our last plank. And after this one, we're going to stay into the mat. So add your leg lifts. Drop your knees. And let's sit back into our heels. Open your knees slightly if it's a bit uncomfortable on your hips. And let's come down to a shelf stretch. Stretching forward. And take some nice deep breaths. And again, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Excellent. So we're going to come out of our stretch now into a 4-point kneel position. So hands just underneath our shoulders, and you're going to take your knees underneath your hips. So we're going to work through a bit of spine mobility now. You're going to take a deep breath in, bring your shoulder blades to the ceiling, tuck that chin into your chest. Breathe out, drop that belly button, lift that chin. And again, breathe in and lift. And breathe out. Get as much movement as you can. Good. So last one now, towards the ceiling. And this time, you're just going to bring that back into neutral position. So we're going to think about balancing that glass of water onto your back, or a glass of wine, probably better. Don't want to spill that glass of wine. I'm going to take the toes underneath. So we're going to work through our leg pull now, keeping that glass of wine nice and balanced. We're going to lift through the knees, just slightly away from the mat, and then lower. So let's work through our set now, lifting and lowering, but keeping that back nice and steady. Engaging around the stomach area. And with your breathing, you're going to try and exhale and lift. And then inhale, come down. Keep focused in between your hands. Keep your neck neutral. If you want to work harder, you can hold longer at the top of that leg pull. So holding and controlling for a little bit longer, and then lowering back down to the mat. Okay, keep it going. All right, the last few. Again, if you want to step it up just that little bit more, in your leg pull, we're going to add a heel flick. Heel up, and down. So adding that heel flick now. If you want to work a bit harder, if not, stay on your singles. The last two. The last one. Relax those knees and just pull off those wrists a little bit. Whew, that's the one. So we're going to work into our level 2 now. So we're going to bring our hands a lot further away from our shoulders. We're going to curl those toes back underneath. So in our level 2 now, we're going to come into our knee lift. And then we're going to drive our shoulders back over our wrists into our plank. Hips back over our knees, and then lower down. So you've got a lift. You're going to drive into that plank. Hips back over those knees, and lower. So if you've got that now, let's try and add a little bit of pace. So up, drive, back, and down. If the level 2 is too much for you, just go back to your level 1 and work into your lift and lowers. If you want to work harder in your level 2, add those leg lifts again. So again, last 2, adding those leg lifts. Last 1. Back, down, and let's sit back into those heels. Widen those knees a little bit and stretch through. Nice deep breaths, have a little bit of a longer cool down now. Okay, let's lift out of that stretch. And we're going to work into side lying now. So knees towards the front of the room. And we're going to come down into a mat, bottom arm nice and straight. And just stick your head onto your arm. And just make sure your shoulders, hips, and ankles just fall nicely in line together. Your knees should be about 45-degree bend. And I'm going to think about engaging the core here before we begin. So I want you to lift through that bottom hip. Imagine you've got a bit of a mouse house here. Try and keep that hip engaged throughout this series. So you're going to take your hand onto your hip. I'm going to start with our climb level 1. So ankles together. We're going to start taking the knee away, up to the ceiling, and then back down. You're going to exhale through that lift. And inhale down. Nice and controlled. Keeping that core lift. And just stabilizing around this hip. Trying to roll back. Keeping that breathing. All right, so if you're happy with that, we're going to work into our level 2. So ankles away. We're going to lift again through that knee towards the ceiling and lower back down. If you want to stay in your level 1, then you can do. Just drop those ankles back down. You've got your same breathing pattern here. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Okay, so last 2. On our last one, we're going to open that clamp and add some pulses. We're going to pulse 1, 2, 3, and down. So continue with those pulses. Open that clamp, pulse 1, 2, 3, and down. 1, 2, 3. If you need to drop into your level 1, you can. So let's work through those pulses now. And pulse. Good, last 2. Last 1. Pulse 1, 2, 3. Keep that clam open. We're going to add a stretch through the leg. Tap back in. And again. And back. If you need to again drop into your level 1, you can do, but really try and keep this high level. Working through that leg extension now. Keeping that core engaged. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, back. Good, you should really feel it coming now through that top leg. Work through the last 2. Last 1. You're going to control that knee nice and slowly back down and drop those ankles if you're in level 2. We're going to straighten our legs now, with both legs nice and straight. So you can support with your hand in front of your body for some extra support. If you feel balanced enough, you can take that hand away. So we're going to start with some lift and lowers. So our top leg is going to come away from the bottom leg and then back down. And again, lift and down. Exhale through that lift. Inhale down. Try and keep that nicely balanced position. If you're a bit too wobbly, you can take your hands down, even just one finger if it helps. Good. Okay, so last two here. On our last one, we're going to lift that leg and hold. For some extra support, put your hand down, but we're going to lift that bottom leg up now. Join the top leg and both legs down together. And again, so lift, bottom leg lift, down together. So let's work through the sequence now. If you can, take that hand away, make it harder. The key is try not to lift that leg too high. It doesn't need to be high. You just want the control. You feel it all the way through here. Well done. Keep it going for the last few. Good. So last one. And down. Excellent. So you're going to keep that bottom leg straight now. With our top leg, we're going to take the foot behind the knee. Everyone popping the hand in front of the body for this one to begin with. And rest that knee down in front. So try and keep that hip in line with your shoulder. Try not to roll into the mat. I'm going to work through the clam level 3. If this is too much, just pop into your level 2 or your level 1 position and do another set of those. So level 3, let's lift that knee towards the ceiling and down. All right, let's try and take that hand away. You'll feel that pressure. Good. All right, the last few. Last two. Excellent. Take that knee down and relax. Join those legs together. And we're going to roll onto our back. And we're going to stretch that glute that we've just been working. You're going to bend your knees. You're going to take that leg over your opposite knee. And you're going to bring it into your chest. So just take some time just to stretch through that glute and just pull it down a little bit. Nice deep breaths. Should definitely feel it a little in there. All right. So let's take our feet back down into the mat now. And we're going to work through our scissors theories. So we're going to work from our level 1 to our level 3. So you're going to bend in your knees, keep them in line with your hips, taking your arms down the side of your body. And with your core here, just try and engage, getting that spine in contact with the mat. So try not to arch away from the floor. So engage through the core, and we're going to work through our scissors level 1. So we're going to take our one leg up into tabletop, and then slowly down towards the mat. To work through the opposite side, lifting up and down. You're going to exhale through that lift. Inhale, control down. So you can feel with your hands, keeping that pelvis in neutral. Feel that low stomach working. So this is level 1. It's all about the control. Keeping that breathing. Exhale through those lifts. Inhale down. Last one each side. Okay, let's work on for level 2 now. We're going to come into a double tabletop position. One leg up at a time. Keeping your knees in line with your hips. Create a little bit of a right angle. So this time I'm going to drop the one leg down towards the floor and bring back up. Opposite leg, tapping down and up. Exhale down. Inhale, control up. Working through alternate sides. And you're going to feel that pressure a lot more on your back, wanting to arch away. So keep that core engaged. You want to work harder, go further away with those taps. If level 2's a bit too much, just drop it down to level 1. The further the way that you tap in, the harder it's going to be. Good. All right, so the last one each side. Excellent. Let's take one leg down at a time, and then let's work onto our level 3. So for our level 3, we're going to take the one leg into tabletop, and then we're going to do a little bit of a switch with our legs. So as this leg comes down, you're going to switch and take the other leg up. And we're going to tap, and tap, and tap. Keep that control. If that feels okay, let's just quicken that pace. Working harder, let's tap further away from those glutes. You're going to feel that back coming away. So work hard to control. Yeah, keep it going. A little bit quicker if you can control it. And finish it. 3, 2, 1. Hold it there and just drop down nice and gently. Okay. So continuing on our abdominal work here, we're going to work with some abdominal cracks. So back into our double tabletop. Taking one leg up at a time. This time we join those knees and ankles together. And we're going to lift through that upper spine and engage around that lower part of our stomach. So we're going to lift and draw those fingers nice and long. And then control down back into the mat. And again, engage and lift. And down. We're going to exhale through these lifts. Inhale down, and again. Good, so keeping that lower spine in contact with the floor the whole time with this one. Try and keep that right angle with those legs, try not to drop those heels down. If you need to at any time, just drop those feet back into the mat and just work with your screw legs. If you want to work harder on your next one, lift. We're going to stretch with one leg, back in, stretch with the other, back in, and then lower down. So you've got levels to choose from now. This is your higher level, stretching out on your set. If not, take your legs all the way down and just work at that lower level. So let's work through our last few. Working through those stretches still. Last two. Good, last one. Excellent, let's come down. One leg at a time. And let's just stretch and ease off that stomach slightly into a nice pencil stretch. Nice big reach. Flare those ribs towards the ceiling. Nice deep breaths. Okay, so let's work a little bit now into our obliques. So we're going to bend those knees back in. This time we're going to take the hands behind our head, so lace those fingers, elbows nice and wide. And we're going to lift into our oblique twist. So lifting that shoulder to the opposite knee, control down, and into the opposite side. With your breathe in, you're going to exhale through that twist. Inhale back into the center. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. So through this one, try to think about that pelvic position. Nice and neutral. Try not to twist through the pelvis area. Okay, and the next one, to make it harder, we're going to add that little bit of a leg lift. So twist and add that leg back down into the center. And again, adding that leg on each side. Exhale. Inhale down. Exhale, twist. Inhale down. Good, keep it going. All right, if you want to work a bit harder, in your twist, we're going to hold for a little bit longer. Deep breath in and out. Breathe in again. Breathe out and down. So you're just holding that twist now. Adding those extra breaths. Good. And if you want to work even harder now, in those holds, we're going to add a stretch with the opposite leg. We're going to stretch out 1, 2, and 3. Back in to the center and down. You've got a choice now. You can work extra hard and adding that stretch out. Or you can just keep those singles going. So you just choose for you. I'm sure you definitely feel it now. I am. Okay, so last one on each side. So if you can, step it up now. Stretch with the opposite leg. 2, 3. Good, last one. And tap out. And again. Last one. Back in and down. Woo, feel that. Stretch. And flare those ribs up. Nice deep breaths. Hopefully you'll be able to feel that in the morning. If not, I've not done my job properly. All right, so let's bend those knees back in. And we're going to work through our shoulder bridges. So we're going to engage a bit more of our glutes now. Hands back down side of our body. And again, just filling that gap, just taking that spine down towards the mat. I'm going to lift into our shoulder bridge now. Hips up towards the ceiling. Squeezing those glutes. And then lowering slowly back down. So think about rolling that spine, peeling it away from the floor. You're creating that nice ski slope at the top. And then rolling slowly again. Back down with that spine, in towards the mat. So I'm going to bring that glass of wine back in now, and it's balanced on our pelvis area here. If you start tilting from side to side, you're going to spill that glass of wine. You don't want to waste it. Lifting through, so it's all about the control, keeping that level of your hips. And down. Good, so last two. Working through that last one. Excellent. Okay, so on our next one now, we're going to add our arms. Come up into your shoulder bridge. Take your arms above your head. I'm going to hold the shoulder bridge here. So we're going to hold that lift. And we're going to add some heel lifts. So we're going to lift the heel and down. Opposite side. Lift and lower. So stay in that bridge. And you're just walking through those ankles, each side, but keeping those hips nice and high. Try not to dip. If this is too much, just stay in your singles, or just hold the bridge and not add the heel lifts. Just feel it in your calves a little bit more, like this. Nice and steady. Last one each side. And then we're going to lower back down, taking the hands back down to the mat and back into our singles. Lift up and down. Good. So into our second set here. All right, last two. Last one. All right, you guessed it, we've got another set. We come up into that shoulder bridge. Arms above the head. Let's hold that shoulder bridge and add those heels now. And lift. Lift. Try not to spill that glass of wine. Nice and still. Really good. Excellent. Last one each side. And let's lower all the way down, back into the mat. Knees into your chest and give yourself a hug. Go down a bit there. All right, we're going to step up a little bit with our bridges. And again, if it's too much, just stick to your single bridges that we've just been doing with both feet on the floor. We're going to work into the single bridge if you want to work harder. So we're going to work through one side at a time. Take your hands back down, side of the body. We're going to lift one leg up, and we're going to lift into our bridges, and we're going to do steps on each side. So when you're ready, lift into your single bridge and down. So we're going to do 5 on the side. Onto your third. Last 2. Last 1. And down. Rest that foot down and let's change sides. Lifting that leg to begin with. It's a full lift on that one leg. We're coming up and down. And again up. Good. It's going to be hard around that pelvis area. Really still think about keeping it nice and stable. And I think we've got one left on this side. And down. All right, so see if we can do another set on each side. That means we've done 10 on each leg. Again, if it's too much, just lift with both legs. So when you're ready, finishing off the set here, 5 more on this side. The last 2. Good, down with that leg. Last set now. And lift. Last 2. Don't have to do extra ones for that. Come down, bend your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, and just pull up, lift in there. Okay, so take your feet down into the mat, and we're going to have a bit of a sit up. I'm going to work through the opposite side of our glutes now. So we're going to bring our feet round into this side. Okay, so we're going to lie down now, into that side lying position. Shoulders, hips and ankles sitting nicely in line. Engaging that core by lifting that hip. Let's start with that level 1, keeping the ankles together and lifting through that knee. Exhale through that lift. And inhale down. Good. And again, keeping that lift, engagement around that core. All right, let's step up into our level 2, ankles away. Again, open that clamp and down. You need to stay in level 1, then just drop those ankles. All right, last 2. Last one here, I'm going to add those pulses. 1, 2, 3, and down. Working into those pulses. Good, drop those ankles if you need. If not, keep working on that level 2, 2, 3. Work into that last set. Last pulse and open that clam and hold it. We're going to tap that leg out and back in. Don't drop that hip. Let's tap out and in. Remember your breathing. Exhale now with that stretch. Inhale back. Exhale, stretch. Good. Feel that coming through now. Last 2. Keep checking. Excellent. Lower that knee nice and slowly. And drop those ankles down. Come into our straight leg position now. And again, hand in front if you need to. We're working harder with that hand down the body. Start with our lift and lowers. Top leg up and down. Nice and balanced. You might feel like one side you're better than the other, which is completely normal. And again, you don't need to lift that leg too high. Keep the control. last two. Last one, we're lifting that leg and hold. Take the hand down if you need. Lifting the bottom leg and then down together. Lift, lift, and down. Ooh, nearly went there. Definitely feel more wobbly on this side. Good, if you can, taking that hand away. Good, only just doing that. All right, last one. Relax down, well done. Hand back in front of the chest. Now with your top leg, that foot becomes behind the knee and fold that knee in front of your body. So again, try not to roll into the mat, keeping the hip in line with the shoulder. Let's work through our climb level 3. When you're ready, you're going to take that knee towards the ceiling and down. You're going to exhale through that lift and inhale down. Just working your level 2 or level 1 climb if this is too much. Try and get that hand away, make it a little bit harder. Good. Let's work through those last two. Last one. Resting down and joining those legs back together. Okay, turn onto your back. You're going to stretch that glute out. So the same stretch as before. You're going to take that leg back over the knee. Stretch into your chest. Nice deep breaths. And just cool down that muscle. Pull in as deep as you can. Nice big stretch. Okay, taking both feet back down to the mat. We're really mean and just finish off with one last exercise in the mat. And it's one of my favourites. So we're going to do the hundreds exercise. So we're going to come into a double tabletop. And I'm going to join those knees and ankles back together. And we're going to work into abdominal press. So we're going to pull it up, fingers nice and long, but we're going to hold it here. And we're going to pulse for 100. So you're holding that abdominal press position and counting yourself. You're going to have to faith that you're doing it. And we're going to pulse, trying to keep in that position. If you need to, pull it on your neck or anything, just drop your neck down, but keep pulsing. And breathing through. Keep pulsing, counting yourself. Good, keep going, so your last little bit now. If you want to work harder, take those hips further away. Keep pulsing. And I'm guessing, but I'm going to stop there. All right, finish up there, taking your hands down. One leg down at a time, and stretch through and cool it off. Nice deep breath there. We're going to sit up slowly and just stretch through that stomach area by working through our cobra. So you're going to take yourself round onto your stomach. Just placing your forearms down, and you're just going to lay your forehead into the mat. So you're going to take a deep breath in, you're going to breathe out and push into your cobra. high as you can, lifting that chin, getting a nice stretch through the stomach. Deep breath in here, breathe out and lower. If that cobra is too much, any back pain or anything like that, just lift ever so slightly. But if you can, deep breath in, breathe out, and into that full cobra. Breathing in and breathing out down. So let's just work through a few of these. Inhale, exhale up. Inhale, exhale lower. Last two. All right, last one. And down into the mat. All right, we're going to push all the way back into our heels now. So pushing back into our shelf stretch again, and again, just widen those knees if it's more comfortable around the hips. And let's just sit down as low as you can into that shelf stretch. Taking those deep breaths. All right, we're going to curl the hands round to one side. So we're going to stretch out those obliques that we were working earlier. Sit back into those heels and really pull through the side. And let's work through the opposite side. And just pull into your heels, nice stretch down. And back into the middle. And lifting through the chest. So we're going to work on just opening up our hips now at the end. So we're going to bring ourselves just into a lunge position. So one foot in front of the other. You're going to open up your hip by leaning forwards. And then let's stretch over that one side. And finding your own stretch here around that hip. So really nice, just open up those hips. Nice deep breaths. Good, using out that stretch. And let's work through the opposite side. So again, down into that hip stretch. And then open up that one side. Excellent. So we're going to come out of that stretch now. Back onto your knees, hands down, and just bring yourself into a crouch position if you can. I'm going to roll up slowly back into standing. So let's slowly take our time stretching through those hamstrings and then rolling that spine nice and gently. Back into standing, lifting the head slowly. Good, and walking back into the centre, facing back to the front if you're not already. And then we're just going to cool off that upper body really quickly, taking into our shoulder rolls. So that deep breath in, up, breathing out, back and round. So just rolling out the upper body now. Taking that nice deep breath in. Breathing out, rolling out those shoulders. Last two. Last one. Relaxing those shoulders. Take that ear down towards the shoulder. Another stretch through that neck. Back into the middle and opposite side. Back into the middle now. Let's go into that rotation. All the way around. Looking behind us. Working through that opposite shoulder. taking your head back into the centre to finish. Well done. Give yourself a clap. I can't see that you're clapping with me, but well done. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I hope it was just a little bit of a treat before Christmas. But yeah, hopefully we can do some more. So yeah, let me know how you found it. Let me know if you're struggling tomorrow morning. Right, have a good evening, guys. See you later.